Okay, Chan, so today we are going to learn how to divide fractions and turn them into decimal form, okay?
Okay.
You remember we have worked on fractions before,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And we have worked with decimals before, right?
Yes.
But we have never turned a fraction into a decimal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start with our first one. Our first fraction. What fraction is this? Read that to me.
1 second.
1 second? How else would you say that? 1 half. Okay. This is what? This top number. What is your top number?
1.
What is it called though? What is the name for the top number? Do you remember it? A numerator? Do you remember that word?
Yes.
Okay, so that's your numerator, right?
Yes.
And what is the bottom number? Do you remember?
Denominator.
Denominator, very good. All right. So sometimes we read this as 1 half, right?
Yes.
Or we could also read this as 1 out of 2, right?
Yes.
If you had 2 halves, that would equal, it would equal what? 1 whole, right?
Yes.
All right. So now we're going to work on changing this into a decimal form. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Another way to look at this, instead of 1 over 2 or 1 half or 1 out of 2, we could call this line, it's like saying 1 divided by 2. This is the same as, these are both the same. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, if we are going to do 1 divided by 2, we could write it like this, couldn't we?
Yes.
How many times does 2 go into 1?
It doesn't.
It doesn't, correct. So we're going to add a decimal point here. And what would we put after our decimal?
A 0.
A 0, that is correct. Does 2 go into 10?
Yes.
It does? We're going to pretend that this is 10, okay? We're going to move our decimal straight up, just like that, all right? It's moving straight up right there. And we're going to pretend that it's not a decimal number. We're going to pretend that we're going 2 into 10. What is 10 divided by 2?
5.
5. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So 5 times 2 is what?
10.
And then we would subtract it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do we get?
0.
0. So 1 half is equal to 1 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you want to try one together? Okay, let's try one together. Let's try 3/4. Which color marker would you like to work with?
2.
Teal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what is this fraction called? How would you say that? How would you read that fraction?
3 and 4.
3/4?
Yes, 3/4.
Or you could also say 3 out of 4.
Yes.
Or you could say, what did I just teach you? 3 divided by 4. Okay, so how would you write that? Very good. Now can we solve it? How would you solve it? Okay, does 4 go into 3?
No.
No, so what do we have to do? And what else do we need to do? There you go. Very good. And what do you do with your decimal up here? You move it up, correct. Does 4 go into 30?
Yes.
How many times?
Hmm. 7 times.
Very good. Write your 7. And 7 times 4 equals what?
28.
Very good. All right. So now what do we need to do?
Add another 0.
Add another 0. Very good. And what do you do with your 0? What's the next step?
What is another 0 do?
Well, you need to bring your 0 down, remember? Bring your 0 down.
What do I do with this then?
Don't worry about that. How many times does 4 go into 20?
5 times.
Very good. So just write a 5 over that 0. We'll just pretend like you didn't mark a 0 there. Now what's 7 times 4?
7 times 4.
I'm sorry. 5 times 4.
20.
20. And you would subtract it. Very good. So, what is 3/4 equal to? Can you write the answer right here? Very good. You gonna try one more all by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's try one more all by yourself. How about that? What does that read? Read that one to me. 4/5. How else could you read it?
4 over 5.
4 over 5. Or you could read it how?
4 and
4 out of 5.
yes.
Or you could say 4
Into
divided by 5. Very good.
Hold on.
Very good. Very good. So what is 4/5 equal to? Awesome. Do you want to try one more, or are you good? Do you understand right now? Okay, we'll have to try some more practice problems so that you can get more comfortable with the process.
Okay.
But that's pretty neat, huh?
Yes.
It helps you understand 4/5 is just a fraction, but it's also division as well,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. We'll have to do some more practice problems together. It was great working with you.